Fire Emblem Heroes has been the subject of leaks for quite some time now. Some users with insider info have successfully predicted almost every Heroes related event for the past month. These events include the mini Tempest trial featuring Hector, a Path of Radiance banner featuring Alincia, Nefty, and Oscar, and finally the Black Knight as a Tempest trial reward. What's interesting though are the events entailed in the leak that have not yet occurred, specifically a banner featuring characters from Genealogy of the Holy War. There are currently only 4 characters from FE4 in Heroes, making it one of the least represented games. Fortunately, Intelligent Systems have taken the time to release characters from games that were originally lacking representation. Sacred Stones and Path of Radiance are a great example of this. With all of that in mind, there's a very high chance that we'll be soon seeing a Genealogy banner. However, with the release of new heroes comes the abundance of power creep. Throughout these past months, we've seen the release of characters that are simply much stronger than characters that were originally in the game. There's also the situation where new characters are getting skills that are really just buffed versions of previous skills. Alincia is a prime example of how power creep can occur in Heroes. Her offensive capabilities simply outclass her fellow sword flyers, and her weapon Amity is just a buffed brave sword with less consequences. Along with power creep though is the dominance of Horse Emblem in Heroes. Horse Emblem is a really strong team composition due to cavalry buffs and their massive attack range. Ranged Horse Emblem units like Reinhardt and Bravelyn can eviscerate almost anyone when under the effects of honed cavalry. It's also worth mentioning that the best units for Horse Emblem teams are either very easy to obtain or completely free, which increases the likelihood of encountering them in the arena. Horse Emblem also ties into the Genealogy banner, as a majority of characters from that game were on horseback. Seeing as Eldigan was able to keep his horse in Heroes, it's likely that most characters in this banner will also show up with a horse. As for the banner itself, we can safely assume that Sigurd is pretty much guaranteed. He's the #1 voted FE4 character on the Choose Your Legends poll, and he's pretty much the first playable character in that game. I'm personally a bit skeptical of Sigurd, seeing as Intelligent Systems have a history of nerfing strong characters into the ground when implementing them into Heroes. If you want to see an example of this, look no further from Seth. To make matters worse for Sigurd are the possible weapons that await him. Intelligent Systems can easily just give him the Tire Fang, one of the worst legendary weapons in Heroes. A silver sword is also a possibility since he is known to receive one from a certain character that we'll also be talking about. Honestly, I hope that developers pull a Blazing Durandal on this one, but even with the advent of power creep, the possibilities of that happening are slim. One thing that we can definitely look forward to is the gorgeous artwork and voice acting. Intelligent Systems has done a great job at reimagining some of their older characters. Some of the recent characters like Nefny, Oscar, and the Black Knight have some of the best artwork in the game, and this further increases my anticipation to see how Intelligent Systems will handle some of their oldest characters. Aside from Sigurd, it's possible to predict the rest of the banner by taking recent trends into consideration. Seliph and Julia, 2 of the main characters for the second generation of FE4, are already in the game. This leads me to believe that the possible FE4 banner will contain mainly characters from the first generation of FE4, which would make sense for Sigurd to be in this banner. Following that logic, this upcoming FE4 banner should focus on characters in Sigurd's army. With that in mind, we could potentially see characters such as Finn and Levin make their way into the game. Finn in particular is one of the most well-received characters among fans of FE4, even managing to beat Sigurd in Japanese popularity polls. With all that in mind, Finn has a really high chance of getting into this banner. Even more likely than Finn is the possible inclusion of Deirdre. Sigurd without Deirdre just doesn't feel right. Having both of them would also create a parallel with Seliph and Julia. Similarly, it would not make sense for Arvis to host a Grand Hero barbecue without inviting the both of them. Yes, the leaks claim that Arvis will be getting a Grand Hero battle, Whether he'll be an armored mage or an infantry mage is up to Intelligent Systems, but I'm hoping for the former since it could bring some diversity to the game. As the holy trinity of Sigurd, Deirdre, and Arvis is too great to pass up, the likelihood of Deirdre being in this banner is quite high. Intelligent Systems have also shown that they are willing to leave out fan favorite characters, prioritizing the release of the main lords and also making sure that they have more content to release down the line. This is shown as both Lute and Joshua, two of the highest ranking characters on the Choose Your Legends poll, were not included in the Sacred Stones banner. Another comparison we can draw from the Sacred Stones banner is the addition of Innes and Tana, two lords that were added after Ephraim and Erica. It just so happens that Erica and Ephraim were also in the same banner as Seliph and Julia. Keeping all of this in mind, it's possible that Quan and Ethlin could be part of this banner, bringing along Finn as well. In the end, I'm not entirely certain on which characters will make it into this banner, but through analyzing recent trends and habits of the developers, I predict that the genealogy of the Holy War banner will include Sigurd, Deirdre, along with either Finn and Ira, or Quan and Ethlin. However, these are simply predictions, should not be taken as guaranteed picks. It's also worth mentioning that we may not even be getting an FE4 banner, and it's likely that parts of the leak were simply made up to get people excited. Personally, I hope the leaks were true and that we do get a banner for Genealogy of the Holy War. I really like this game, and I'm ecstatic to see how Intelligent Systems reimagine characters like Sigurd and Deirdre. If you've made it this far into the video, I would like to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed what I had to say about Fire Emblem Heroes, be sure to check out my channel in the next few weeks, as I'm planning on uploading more Heroes related content. Also, if you think I've missed anything, or if there's anything I could improve in this video, please notify me. I'm always trying to improve the quality of my videos, and reading feedback is one of the ways that I'm able to do so. Anyways, this is the Captain signing off. Have a good one.